Alright, hello everyone, it's AQW Blaze 91, Anthony Abel here for another one of these games I bought through every month, where I go through every single game that I've been purchasing throughout this whole month. In this case it is January 2020, and I hope you guys had a fantastic Happy New Year. We're off to a very good start with 2020 so far, including me. I'm off to a decent start with 2020. Alright, so here I bought several games. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, magazine, and something else as well. So yeah, so we're not off to not a bad start to 2020. As now I'm finally with a new care company called Myris, and I'm liking them. I've been swapping back and forth between doing all the individual carers there, as it gives me a bit of an insight to what they are doing, and it has allowed me to go out one more time, and once again, after not being able to go out at all throughout all of December. So I'm absolutely pleased by that. So either way, but first of all, before we get started, Platinum trophies. I finally Platinum trophied Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 game, after finally getting my lazy ass off the multiplayer, because I've been playing too much of the multiplayer. Because one day I was going through all my trophies to see what games I could get my first Platinum trophy on to start off 2020, and then I looked at this game and I realized I have not touched the campaign yet. That's because I spent literally the whole 2 years of this game just playing the multiplayer, and I haven't even touched the single player yet. And yeah, I got all the multiplayer trophies in the game. And then I realized I have not started the campaign on it, the single player campaign, and I eventually did, and I eventually got my Platinum trophy for it. So yeah, this is the infamous Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, the 2017 game from EA, where the game was heavily criticized for the pay-to-win microtransactions. I'll give you just a brief summary because everybody has covered it to death. Where it's an obvious pay-to-win scheme with players having to buy loot crates in order to upgrade their characters. Either there's troopers, the heroes, the vehicles, or the starfighters. Everything was designed around this loot crate system. And because of the system, it meant that the multiplayer matches were unfair. Whoever had the most upgrades for their character has a slightly better character than you have and will beat you in a fight. Now you can slowly get all these upgrades to your characters by using raw in-game materials, but that takes forever. So instead, you would spend money. You can spend real-life money to get all these upgrades instead. But however, it's random. You might not even get the upgrades for the characters that you wanted. It was straight up gambling. But you didn't just have all the necessary upgrade. You didn't just have like all the star cards for the for all the hit for all of the troopers, vehicles and starfighters and so on. You had the heroes as well. Everyone wanted to play as their favorite Star Wars character. You do get credits from completing matches online, or by completing all the various side challenges and so on. So you can possibly get something like 100 or 300 or 500 if you manage to keep the match going, or by completing all the various side challenges. So it's not bad, right? Now, let's pick a Star Wars character that everyone likes, for instance, like Darth Vader. It costs 15,000 credits to unlock him. And you might be thinking, that could certainly take a lot. That's going to take like several hours to unlock. But here's the thing. He used to cost 60,000 credits. No joke, 60,000 credits. And that was just to unlock Darth Vader. And ever since the games came out sometime after, the loot crate system was changed. The loot crate system was removed. The upgrade system was changed. The microtransactions was changed also. So now, being that you can only purchase appearance items for your heroes with real life money, or you can just use all the credits that you've earned through the game instead. And now the upgrade system is now an experience point system. And in all fairness, they've changed the system and they've made it a lot better. After all of the amount of criticism it got, not just from gamers, fans, but also politicians as well. They even they criticized the system and called it a dumb mechanic. They even called it a flawed mechanic. And even since then, EA has since tried their hardest to defend it by saying it's a system that rewards people for playing the game, and that they tried their hardest to defend it with a message on Reddit saying that it's a system that rewards the players the patience when they eventually unlock the heroes or something. And it got such amount of dislikes on it. And even then, years later, after even changing the mechanic, they still tried their hardest to defend the loot crate system, calling it a surprise mechanic. And yet, nobody agreed to it. So it shows that a loot crate system was a bad idea from the start. There were so many bad ideas that they did wrong with this game that eventually they changed it. And even though they're still trying to defend it, I'm at least glad I didn't spend any money on the microtransactions for this game. Even if I died several times in the multiplayer to get the upgrades I needed to stand a chance against the players online. And even then, I've grown so much better at it. And still to this day, I still continue to play it because I still got the milestones to finish. And afterwards then, we also got some new heroes coming up. And some new maps. And I'm eventually going to start Alright, I'm back. Jump cut there. Alright, so as I was saying, I went through the multiplayer and I got all the multiplayer achievements trophies for it, and I did get all of the heroes that unlocked, including all the new ones they kept on releasing, because eventually we got Grievous, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi, we got Count Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker. And then later we're going to have BB-8 and his dark side counterpart. And coming in the next coming weeks or something. I don't think EA's made a full proper announcement when they're going to ever actually be released. And they also have done a celebration edition that you can purchase online for 20 quid, where it gives you every single appearance that I think everybody's possibly by this point have unlocked. So what's the point of spending 20 quid on that? No idea. So it does show, even though it's the most controversial game that EA's released, I chose to stick through it, and I am enjoying myself, and I'm still find myself enjoying it at times. But again, it's one of those games you just can't. It is one of those games that falls into the greed, manipulative practices of EA. And I'm glad I got my platinum trophy for it. And I also unlocked 2 more platinum trophies as well. Because by the time I upload this video, I would have done Hitman Go Definitive Edition on the PlayStation Vita, and also Lara Croft Tomb Raider Go, both on the PS4 and the Vita, which both of those games, Hitman Go and Tomb Raider Go, Lara Croft Go, whatever, are both trophies shared between the PS Vita and PS4 versions. So that's great. I'll have those done. So by this time I would have had 3 platinum trophies to start off 2020. I have reviewed also the House of the Dead 2. Because I wanted a little easy game I can review to start me off for 2020. Before I kick myself off in more RPGs, which I'll explain in just a moment. So now that I finally got around to finally we get around to talking about the games. But first of all, let's talk about what I did also buy as well. I bought the latest issue of the PlayStation UK magazine. Yes, this one's showing Resident Evil 3. Yeah, because I thought, why not give the Sony some support, give the Sony PlayStation brand some support. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 is a fantastic entry in the series, and after House of Capcom has been successful so far with reviving the Resident Evil franchise, and seeing how brilliant the two Resident Evil remastered remakes of Resident Evil 1 and remake of Resident Evil 2 have been, we are seriously looking forward to the Resident Evil 3 remake. I can't wait to see how Resident Evil 3 remake does. And I also got it with the RE3 poster. I think it's an RE3 poster. Yep. Looks awesome. Glad to have that. And also just a couple of character stickers as well, showcasing The Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Cyberpunk 2077. Alright, pardon me. Yeah. I was just too busy there with those. Alright, so anyway guys, next one. I got a couple of eSport grips for the PS4. These are the last ones I'm ever going to get. These are just a couple of hand grips, and even a grip for the triggers as well. 2 of them. 2 each. Which is not bad, considering what you're getting for 10 quid. For 6 grips, for the thumbsticks, and 2 trigger grips. They're not bad. They're not bad considering the price on them. If you want to make like your gaming a bit more comfortable, yeah, they're not bad. Even though they're not as good as the PlayStation 3 style grip, thumb grips. Yeah, nothing will ever beat the PlayStation 3 thumb grips. Which are same way the original PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 controller thumb grips. And now lastly, here we go guys, this is it. We're on to the main event. The games are bought. And I'm going to start with a 3DS game. Pokemon Sun. I bought this because, yeah, I do want to invest myself in the Pokemon franchise. And seeing as how Pokemon games are still making the jump now to new consoles, and especially the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I think now's a good enough time that I start collecting some of the Pokemon games. And hopefully it'll motivate me to play Pokemon Gold. For real this time. As I didn't have much interest in playing Pokemon Sun. I only played it for just like a minute or two to see it working. And to erase the data that was left on there before I can then start a fresh one. Alright, next up I got 2 new Nintendo GameCube games here. One is Time Splitters Future Perfect and Judge Dredd, Dread vs. Death. Both first-person shooters. They're pretty good. They're really good. Time Splitters Future Perfect is the third game in the Time Splitters series. Excellent series of shooting games if you love the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark games. If you like the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark games, you need to play the Time Splitters games because they're fully reminiscent of those games. And I've only played like a mission or two to see it working, and it works as fine on the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, I have got the Nintendo Wii finally all set up again and ready to play. And I'm more inclined, and the reason I got these for the Nintendo GameCube is I'm kind of not that interested in playing my Xbox that much now. I'm just only interested in playing the games on the Xbox that I have now. But if I do end up picking up any of the first-person shooters that I wanted to play on the Nintendo GameCube, I'm going with them instead. Or if they're on PlayStation 4, which support trophies. So I got a pretty good deal with Time Splitters. So I got some pretty good looks with Time Splitters Future Perfect. And Judge Dredd Dread vs. Death is a game based on the comic book character, the same name. And this game is the most accurate interpretation of Judge Dredd. Like, he's true to the character. The lore is fantastic. The story and setting is brilliant. And the lore system is fantastically well implemented into the game, forcing you to make arrests rather than, just gunning down just every single bad guy that you see. It's a well implemented system. And I do have this game. I saw a little jump cut there. So yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I do have this game also on the PC, but because I'm using Windows 10, I have no idea if whether or not this game is going to work on my PC or not. So I figured I'd just take the... So I figured I'd just take the easy way out and just get it on my console, on the GameCube instead. So that way I can play it on my consoles. Namely all of the consoles I'm willing to play my games on. Right, now I got 4 games then for the PlayStation 3. I did have one of them, but I had to take it back because it didn't work, because the disc didn't work, and that was Marvel vs. No, hold on, not Marvel. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. That was the game that didn't work. So I replaced it with something else instead. So here are the 4 games I got for the PS3. And these are Just Cause 2. An open world sandbox game where you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's relentless adrenaline fueled action where you got this grappling hook and you can grapple up onto things, or you can use a grappling hook as a weapon and hook your enemies off ledges and such. Or you can hook yourself onto a helicopter and steal the enemy's vehicle. And it's good fun. And I only tested it for the first hour to see it working, and I have registered the trophies on it, and it's pretty good stuff. I actually really do like this game, Just Cause 2. And I've also got Just Cause 3 on my PlayStation Network profile, on my PSN Plus profile, on my PSN Plus. Right, next up, Street Fighter 4. This is the standard Street Fighter 4, not the Super Edition, which I also have on the shelf. Yeah, this is the original one that started it all. In Street Fighter 4, you can't go anything wrong. You cannot go wrong with Street Fighter 4. It's a pretty all-round solid fighting game. It does some memorable characters, even some new ones, and it's even brought in the online multiplayer, which is pretty good so far. For the time I spent with it online, it's actually not that bad. And I'm hoping to play some of the fighting games, hoping to learn how to play fighting games as well, so that eventually I will take on one of the biggest idiots on the internet, Darkside Phil, and beat him down for good. The next fighting game that he picks up, I'm going to train on it and then eventually tackle him, go against him online and beat him. That'll be a match to the century for me. Alright. Next up, Alien Isolation. I've got the Ripley edition, but my one didn't come with... mine... No, actually, mine did come with a DLC code, but it was already used. So, no need. So I haven't got the extra content with mine, which would have given me Last Survivor and Crew Expendable. So I'm going to have to spend some money on the DLC for it. This game is also separate trophies on the PlayStation 4, so I can get this first game on the PlayStation 4 if I can. Because this one will be a good one to platinum trophy if I can. So Alien Isolation is a true horror alien focused game with a terrifying alien that will chase you throughout the game when you encounter it. And you have to evade the alien by hiding in lockers and being as quiet as you possibly can, because if you make some amount of noise, or if you're hiding around in certain areas for too long, the alien will eventually find you and kill you. And people do discuss it's like the most frightening AI that you can possibly think when it comes to it. But it's just at times very inconsistent at times. But hey, it's a good. But at least I got it very cheap. And like I said, I am gonna hunt down the PS4 version as well and do a trophy run on that game as well. All right, now this is the game I replaced the damaged game with. Game that didn't work before, and it is Mafia 2. I got Mafia 2 instead. This game is this is another like sandbox open world game, and it's a pretty not bad game. Even though I've only played for like the first couple of minutes of it. So far it works pretty well, and I like. And it's got not a bad story to it. And as for the content, I got the Platinum Disc, which actually includes all of the DLC on disc ready to go. Which is great, because that saves me a couple of buckaroos on the DLC on the PlayStation Network store. So good stuff. I'm actually pleased I got this. And I believe I have Mafia 3 also on my PlayStation Plus subscription for free. It was one of the free games I got. Alright, so we're now on to, next up we're on to 4 more PlayStation 4 games. Yep, finally I'm adding in PlayStation 4 game. I finally get to pick up some PS4 games, because why not? I'm hoping to pick up some cheap PS4 games as well to add into my collection as well. Alright, so here we go. First of the agenda, Evolve. Chances are you guys have possibly never heard of this, but chances are you might not have played it. Because, how should I explain this? This was another game that had so many good ideas, but it was killed off by forced in DLC. Where they kept most of it at, where everything was mostly kept out, giving us a shooter which had great potential, ultimately killed off by what little there was in the game. It's an online focus. It's a multiplayer game. It's a multiplayer focused game made by Turtle Rock Studios. Turtle Rock Studios. And it had a great idea where you were either playing as the monster or one of the 4 hunters, which are the trapper, the support, the assault, or the medic. And the more that you level up, you get access to more different kind of monsters and other abilities. But again, it just didn't have much to it, and the player base eventually died out, like so fast. And even though it had, and that's a shame too, because some of it did seem pretty cool. It had some good things going for it, but just a shame it died out, I guess. It's just a shame. What a shame. At least I bought it very cheaply, and I'm not sure if the multiplayer servers are dead on that one, because I haven't been able to get into the servers on that one. So I'm likely guessing the servers are down. Then again, I haven't read or checked any updates regarding it. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. The next game is Genesis Alpha 1. This game I bought very cheaply on a sale. And it's a game from Team 17 and Radiation Blue and Team 17. Right, Alright, here we go, have a jump cut. Right, here we go. So yeah, Genesis Alpha 1. This game I bought on a sale, and this was a game made by Team 17 and Radiation Blue. Team 17 being the guys who worked on the excellent Worm series. And this is another game with some unique ideas, but they just don't seem to be as executed as they should be. It's both a starship creation simulator with also fast-paced, brutal FPS action, or so it says. But this is a game where you have to manage micromanage all the things that's going on in your ship, and making sure that you've gotten the resources needed to keep your ship going, and making use of the resources to build up your troops, building up new weapons, and creating clones of your crew, which would aid you on your mission. But a lot of it is very, very complex, and it boils down to trial and error. And even the tutorial doesn't make it easy. Doesn't make the game all that easy to understand. It's just one of those games you really have to know exactly what is going on, and help try and make sure that your ship is safe, and making sure that everything is topped and okay. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself Otherwise, you're going to find the ship falling apart, and eventually you and your crewmates dying. This is one I think. Yeah, I think this one could have been a lot better. And I think this one could have been less complex, especially for a newbie like myself. Alright, next one, Resident Evil Revelations. Yeah, this one's lost its cover, apparently. This game, I also have this game also on the PlayStation 3. And I used to have it for the 3DS, but I wanted to swap it for the PlayStation 3 version and the PlayStation 4 version, because these versions of the games have trophies on them, and I think they'll be good. They'll be much more better for me to play than on the 3DS. Resident Evil Revelations is a way of keeping the Resident Evil series, keeping the horror aspect of the Resident Evil games, being that you're very limited on ammo, in which you're weak and underpowered, but eventually you start getting bigger, better weapons, and you eventually start being able to take out enemies a bit more easier, but it's not without the games losing its horror atmosphere. So, Resident Evil Revelations was a very highly regarded game on the 3DS. Yes, even going to say it's one of the prettiest games you can find on the 3DS. And yeah, it's true, it was a fantastic game for the 3DS, but now I just kind of feel like I just want to get it for the PlayStation instead. Just for the extra trophies. And yeah, this game's got a separate trophy list from the PlayStation 3 version, which means I can get to spend equally about as much time with the PS3 version as I will with this version. And yeah, and so far I've played it. I've only just played the raid mode just to register the trophies, and I've registered the game on my Resident Evil account. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing through this. And the same thing going with Resident Evil Revelations 2 on my PS3, PS4, and my PS Vita as well. So yeah, I'm absolutely glad I got this. So I'm absolutely very glad I got this. Alright, and now we come down to the last one. And this is something I've never heard of much, but one of those series that I think most people would have definite who read their animes would know perfectly well, and talk about it, and so many anime discussions. And one that I think that's well holding to many anime owners' hearts, and it's something that I'm somewhat new to, and it is Touhou. Heard of this? Yep, Touhou. In which I've got one of the games called Touhou Genso Wanderer. This game was one of those games where I thought, oh, this looks somewhat decent. And then I looked at some of the character art for this, and I was just like, oh my god, they got some potentially weird characters in it. And no joke, one of the characters in the game wore a hat that has eyes on it. Like, it's creepy. It's a shame we didn't get that. It's a shame for the English version we didn't get the art for it. Instead we got these two characters on the box instead. Now my copy, I bought this game secondhand, and on the back of the box is supposed to come with Touhou Double Focus. But my game did not have it because somebody who have already had this game before used it, or must have already used the code and threw it away. So it's going to give me something to look for. So it's going to give me something to look into. And the characters in the Touhou universe are actually pretty funny. The humor is great, and this is one of those anime games. It uses only the original Japanese audio dub, no English dub at all. Which, for those who want the authentic Japanese experience, you can't fault it. Now, as for the game itself, the game stars one of the main character, this one here, Reimu. The main character of the series, Reimu, I believe she's called. I think Reimu's the main character, the Touhou franchise of games. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I believe. And at the very start of the game, at the start of the game, Ryunosuke becomes cursed. Reimu tries to stop him, only for Reimu to get battered to death. She retreats. She retreats only to leave herself underpowered and hopeless. Only to leave empty-handed and weakened after trying to stop him. After he got possessed. And she goes on a quest to climb up a mystical tower. Where it's causing all these clones, these evil clones of the citizens to attack people. And Reimu, with the aid of several other characters, especially this one here, to go on a quest to try and stop this possessed Ryunosuke and restore peace. And this game is a roguelike mystery dungeon style game where everything is all roguelike. You start a dungeon all the time at level 1, and you're forced to scour around for items, weapons, armor, and other kind of items that will help you out throughout the dungeons. Some dungeons will allow you to have all your upgraded weapons. Some dungeons will not allow you to have any of your upgraded weapons and so on. Meaning you just have to rely on luck that you go through. Little jump cut there, sorry. So yeah, this game has a large reliance on luck, meaning that some dungeons will allow you to have all your upgraded items and weapons, while others will not let you have any of your weapons, meaning you have to use whatever weapons that the dungeon will give you instead, and you just have to pray to yourself. You just have to pray for luck that everything goes your way. Or you die, and you have to start from the first floor of the dungeon again. And some dungeons go on for way longer than they need to. Like, the Touhou games are not known for being gentle and easy. Like, I've heard that the Touhou games are all meant to be like this bullet hell vertical shooter games where, like, oh, you got like all these massive amount of bullets that you gotta dodge, and they're just practically near impossible to dodge unless you have to be super skilled, unless you have to be godlike skills at dodging all these insane projectiles. But with Touhou Genso Wanderer, it's a hard game because of the whole luck factor. And the amount of ways that the game throws everything in your face as possible. Traps, plenty of enemies. Yep. And a lot of traps, and most of the time you're just not going to be able to see coming. It's like you'll possibly step on a trap, it'll either throw you several yards away, throw you down to the next floor, or just outright blowing you up, dealing massive damage to you. And it's like possibly, oh, I just stepped on one trap. It gave me a shock. It gave me a status effect. What else can go wrong? It scared me, causing me to drop some of my items. What else could go wrong? That's just how punishing this game is. And I know that there's also a some DLC for this game, and there's also the Touhou Genso Wanderer Reloaded, which is like the updated version of the game, but with all the DLC content onto it, plus some new extras. But as for difficulty balancing, I have yet to find out. And this game is trophy shared with the PlayStation 4 version, so you might as well get it for the PS4 because you'll get the full expensive, because the game looks actually so much better on it. because the sprite work on here is actually fantastic. The animation on it is pretty decent. They really did a good job on it. But my goodness, it is teeth-clenchingly hard. And even though I'm not one for playing dungeon crawlers or roguelike games, but dear God, Touhou Genso Wanderer is sure to punish the shit out of you before you even get a chance to. Before finally you get even a slightest remote chance of hope. But yeah, and one of the reasons I actually do kind of know Touhou because I have seen some videos explaining about it, and I've actually played one of the fan games. I remember playing one of the fan games, where one of the one of them focusing on Sunny, and she actually has that hat that one of the characters wore, one with the hat where it had the eyes on it throughout it, and it was a parody of Splatterhouse. And Toho is one of those series that it's good, it's capable of being allowed to be made into jokes and memes. And it's an anime series that's pretty much hugely successful and popular among anime fans in both Japan and anime fans in the West. And there's a lot of people still loving Toho to this day. And I think it's a good thing that Toho games are starting to getting a bit more noticeable now in new consoles. But you just wish that some of them could be a bit easier. And I've heard about one of the fighting games as well. And I've heard they made a fighting game as well for the PS4, and I'll be happy to check that out as well if I can find it. Well, that's a 3D fighting game, and I think there's also a 2D fighting game also. But I'll have to hunt that down. But I'll have to see if I can hunt that down. All right, so that's all the games I bought on the PS4, and also so that's all the games I bought this month. So now we're gonna talk about what I'm gonna be doing the past next month. Right. First of all, what I'm currently doing. What I'm currently doing is I'm playing on Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I've got progress now started, and I've got the game now just on autopilot, leveling up my materia. And why am I autopiloting the game? Well, this game uses a weird leveling system called the Digital Mind Wave system. Where this whole leveling system revolves around this sort of slot machine style wheel, where you match free of a kind images of a character to perform a limit break, or matching free of a kind or matching certain numbers to get either a limit break, no, not a limit break, what is it? Materia level up or your character level up. In which case you need to get like something like 777 to level up your main character, or just matching a certain combination of numbers or whatever to try and level up your materia, and it's just weird. So it's not an experience points type leveling system like what's been done with Final Fantasy II, but instead it's a leveling system where you have to cross your fingers and hope it gives you the right number to increase your character's level. And it can just be and there's just going to be a lot of times it's not going to give you a level up at all, and you're just going to be completely stuck with not leveling up at all, and it's just very bizarre. And then throughout my time playing this, I have gotten some level ups, but half the time, just not at all. Like I could be in one area for a long ass while, and then I'm just not getting a single level up at all. Because the slot machine is just not giving me. But I have played the beginning, and I'm just exploring Midgar, and I'm hoping to get my materia leveled up so I can then eventually start going through the story and unlocking the materia fusion so I can start fusing my materia, leveling them up. I never have a jump cut. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this game is go through the game, get the materia, get all my materia leveled up, explore Midgar a bit more, see if there's any more side stuff around, and then eventually I'll just go through the story. Hopefully that I can start fusing all my materia, because I've really got like a ridiculous amount of materia. And then eventually I'll start titling the optional content once I'm all probably geared up and leveled up as well. And I am making progress with it so far. I'm like 47, 46 now on my game. And I'm only like 13% on the missions so far, because I've been spending a fair amount of time playing the side missions. So I am making some progress in it so far. And there's another game, and there's going to be another game I'm going to also want to talk about as well, that I'm also going to do as well in the future. And it is, let me just find it, Star Ocean First Departure. I'm seeing this game on the PlayStation Network store now, available on the PlayStation 4, and I am going to play that version of Star Ocean First Departure instead of the PSP version, because the First Departure version on the PlayStation Network store, when it says Star Ocean First Departure R, is a full redemption, is a full updated remaster of the Super Nintendo Japan exclusive Star Ocean game. And I am planning to play the Super Nintendo original as well. And I think that'll be a good one to do, because I have played the Tales of Phantasia game a lot. So I played Tales of Phantasia to death, and I need to talk about and I think I do need to talk about like Star Ocean games as well. Star Ocean Second Evolution, I'm not sure if I'll ever do that one as well. I'm thinking I might just do the PS1 version instead on an emulator. Save you all the trouble having to find a PSP port. Of it, or whatever. So yeah, that's going to be my current plans. So that's two RPGs I got going. That's two RPGs I got planned. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and so far I'm okay. I'm doing alright on it. But again, the leveling system is just awkward. It's just so weird. And because of this whole random slot machines crap, it's been putting me a little bit off from it. But on the positive side, it's at least maybe put the game on autopilot, so I can have the game just do all the material grinding and leveling up for me, without me having to hold the damn device. So that's a good thing for me. And so that was all that I really wanted to talk about. So what do I like about my new games the most? Possibly either a Judge Dredd game and my Toto Genso Wanderer. I do want to give it another chance, maybe. maybe to try and get back to where I was. Because there's some things about Touhou that I really do like. Fantastic, funny characters and their designs. And again, because like I played one of the Touhou fan games, which was a parody of Splatterhouse called Splatterfaith, and they based it on Sane. And Sane in the Touhou universe is one of the best soundtracks. It's one of the best tracks in the Touhou franchise. And if you haven't played the Touhou game, I would check out one of the more easier games in the series, or check out the original Touhou games that they made on the PC before you play any of the spin-off games. And so this is gonna do me. And I also like Resident Evil Revelations as well. I'm absolutely happy I got that. Anti-Split is Future Perfect. One of my friends mentioned it, I should get it, and I have now got it for the GameCube. I did get it for the Xbox at one stage, but the Xbox version isn't compatible with my Xbox 360. Yeah, which is more of a reason that I really don't feel like playing games on the Xbox anymore that much now. I feel more of a PlayStation gamer now. But I do want to stick around with Nintendo consoles because there's some fantastic Nintendo games I really do want to review. All the Xbox games, I'm just going to be sticking with what I have, and I'll be reviewing those instead, unless they're on the PlayStation consoles, in which I'll save up for those instead. So that was it, guys. Sorry that took a while. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about what games I got. Please give me a comment, like, and subscribe if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff. And I'll be looking forward to working on some more stuff in the future. And now, I'm gonna wait, you guys, and I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.